What's up guys, welcome. This is going to be the intro starting video of my Turbo S2000. We'll just go over some basic stuff right off the bat, just jump right into it. So I came from a 2020 Audi RS3. It was built motor, full bolt-on, E85. The best I ran in that was a 10.4 in the quarter mile. I was pretty unhappy with performance per dollar. My goal was always kind of to make 1,000 horsepower on that car, and whenever I got quoted what else I needed besides the built motor to make 1,000 horsepower, the price per dollar was simply not there. And no offense to anyone, I know that car has a super popular following, I guess, but whenever you're talking about spending like 100 grand all in, including price of the car and mods to run like an 8-second pass, it just performance per dollar is not there. And also, in my opinion, the car was super tame, super boring to drive. I've always wanted to go 8s or do half-mile events and, you know, really start trapping up high numbers. Just kind of a speed junkie. So I ended up selling it, picking up this. Came home after buying it, was always going to pull the motor to get the car painted. I have it currently painted in Porsche Miami Blue. That's the color I picked out. There's a few imperfections that I have to get sorted because the tires are so wide. It's been flinging rocks over on the fenders back there, so I'm going to get those resprayed, and then come next fall I'll get the car paint protection, like a paint protection film put on the car. So I pulled the motor, or right before I pulled the motor, did a compression test. It was a more than 100 psi low in every cylinder. The previous owner tuned the car super lean, or had someone tune the car super lean, so there was scuffing on the cylinder walls, scuffing on the pistons. The camshafts were rusted. It looked like he had left E85 in there for an excessive period of time, and oil dilution happened, and there's the E85 absorbed water while in the oil, and it just corroded the whole motor was just pretty much shot. That's my fault. Should have done a compression test. The dude was sketchy to begin with. He didn't want me, you know, pulling apart the car to check things, and I should have taken that as a red flag, but I just wanted this thing so bad that I didn't really care. I just had, you know, the goal to just go much faster, much quicker than my RS3 was really capable of. So figured it was a perfect opportunity. Car's being painted, might as well take the motor off to be built. So we'll just jump into that. It's got a Inline Pro 2.4 liter stroker kit. It's got a K24 crankshaft, Inline Pro rods and pistons, Inline Pro head studs. It's got the Jeremy Allen, he did all the head work, so it's got the 6mm valves, 5.5mm intake, 6mm exhaust valves. It's got a steel O-ring, sort of like a step deck kind of going on for the block. I think my piston wall clearance is like right at 5.5 thousandths currently. And then that's kind of it. It's got sleeves. I'd have to check on the sleeves, what brand they are. I honestly don't remember, but the motor is doing pretty good. Still waiting to do a little bit more tuning. Other than that, it's got a full race turbo kit on it. This is temporary until this winter. I'm pulling it apart and selling it all to go with something much larger. It's a 57mm turbo, and then it's got 2 tile wastegates, 38mm full race turbo manifold. It's got a tile blow-off valve. The turbo is a Borg-Warner EFR 7670. It's got a Mishimoto radiator, which is, I'm thinking about going to Koyo as well. Mishimoto radiator fans, and they're just gotta get this sorted next. That's the plan. Got a Schmuck built catch can, Chasing J's cooling plate, Chasing J's coil pack cover, just a little bit of to make it look a little better. It's still stock intake manifold. It's honestly pretty basic. The motor is good for more power than I ever really will need to run in order to run like a low 8. The block is a pretty stout setup. The previous owner put some pretty cheap fuel lines and stuff on there, so I actually just replaced all that last week. So it had like a Deutschwerks 300 liter per hour fuel pump, and it had some Deutschwerks 1300cc injectors. So he scrapped all that. It was 6 feed, 6 return for the AN lines. And now it is a 10 feed, 10 return. It's got an AN fuel rail, Fuel Lab fuel pressure regulator, ID 1700cc injectors currently. For now, we're just running 1 set. I plan on running 2 sets of those in the future. And then in the back, we are running twin Walbro 450 high pressure fuel pumps, and 2 relays per fuel pump. And then we have a Keen Bell, I think I'm saying that right, booster pump in the back as well. So this fuel system should also be good for more than I ever really need to throw at it. Hardtop is currently off due to just being able to work on this. It's so easy to work on it whenever the hardtop's off. You just take this plate off and everything's super accessible. It's got a, I'd have to check. I forget the brand of the hanger for those. Let's see, what else does the car have? Obviously, it is wide body. Gonna be honest, I'm not the hugest fan. I'm not really into like a showy type thing. The wide body's still kind of growing on me, I guess. I kind of wish I would have went with a stock body, but I will say it lets me fit a super wide tire, so traction should never be an issue. Currently, I'm running Toyo 315 R888Rs on the back, and as you can see, there is plenty of room on the outside to go out more, and there's also about an inch and a half on the inside. So they're 315s. I'm gonna see how thick of a tire I can throw on the back. It's got 275s in the front, and the fitment in the front's pretty poor. So I'm gonna have to do something, spacer or something to clean that up a little bit. As of now, I'm just trying to get the car to make some actual power. So currently, no idea what it's throwing down. Fuel system just went in, so it's kind of like on a base map right now, 93 base map. So the goal is this Thursday, I went up and I picked up some 85. I live in Delaware, so 85 is not available at the pump here, so I have to drive to Maryland. I have 3 more of these jugs that I fill, so I can get about 110 gallons at a time, and I just typically just store it right here. So we're gonna throw some 85 in it and see what kind of power it'll make. On this turbo, I'm not sure. The turbo is the limiting factor whenever it comes to the car actually making power right now. I'm hoping that it'll do between 600 and 700, but we will see. 700 wheel horsepower. Right now, I'm not sure what it's making. I definitely know that it definitely feels faster than the RS3 already. On the 93 octane tune, and the 93 octane tune, we were only running 1 fuel pump. There's a stage pump set up, so whenever it's 80% throttle or more, it'll kick in and we'll be running both pumps. The booster pump is currently unplugged. I don't need the booster pump to make 700 horsepower. I won't need to turn the booster pump on until we're pushing quite a bit more than that. So that's kind of the setup. And then the limiting factors as far as drivetrain is, unfortunately, due to COVID and everything, I am still stock trans, stock rear end. Whenever DSS starts making axles, or whenever their back orders start getting fulfilled, whenever that is, I have not ordered it yet. I should have, just because now it's an even longer wait. Then I'm ordering a Ford 88 rear with DSS axles, and I'm doing a Samsonus H-pattern dog box. I am going to keep the car 6-speed car, H-pattern car. One of the issues I had with the RS3 is I just found being automatic, it was so boring to drive. Again, putting the dog box in this thing, I think it's going to be super rowdy, super fun, super engaging to drive. Really looking forward to the future of this car and what exactly it'll hold. I'll just kind of do a quick walk around. So I do have a carbon fiber Mugen wrapped hardtop. The wheels are Work BRS Poisons. They look pretty good. Again, I think I just need a spacer for now. These are going to be the winter wheel setup. They have R888Rs on them right now. I don't know what I'm going to replace these with. These don't have too much life left in them, I don't think. Not sure what I'll replace them with, but I will be keeping these wheels, so I'll probably be doing some sort of spacer. I say winter wheels, but this car will never come out whenever it's cold outside. As I do live in Delaware, it'll never see snow, rain, salt. It won't see any of that. I don't even have windshield wipers, so a few steering wheels for the car. I thought this thing was pretty sick. This Hitachi steering wheel. I'm sure you guys have seen these on TikTok. It's pretty dope. AEM V2 for the ECU. I forgot to mention that. It is a V2. My tuner is Sergio Reyes. I'm sure some of you guys, especially in the Honda world, have heard of him. He tunes a lot of the fast guys on this platform. There's a few dudes that are running 8s on this platform already, and he tunes a few of those. So the car's, you know, it's pretty intricate, but it's also pretty basic setup. All right, guys, well, that's the end of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you know, think about giving me a subscribe. Try and get this channel to kick off, make it worth it, and see where this car goes. Thank you, guys. See you later.